Good evening, everyone. We're going to get started in about 3 to 5 minutes. So just giving you a heads up, 3 to 5 minutes.
Okay, all right, attention, attention. The moment we've all been waiting for. So if you guys can just take your seats, we're going to get started in the next 5 minutes. There was no good way for Stephanie to get everyone's attention because she's too polite. She doesn't have a South African voice. So I got volunteered. So if you could just grab your drinks, take your seats. 5 minutes, we'll get started at 5:45. That's the second announcement. That's the second announcement for the slackers that don't listen to the first announcement. If you can please take your seats. Simon is more polite than I am and is going to get started in the next minute.
Okay. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2024 Stanley Marks White Coat Ceremony. Okay, so welcome to our Board of Commissioners, executive staff, teaching faculty, training program leadership, family, friends, and most importantly, our new interns and fellows. Today, we are gathered to celebrate a pivotal moment in your medical journeys. The White Coat Ceremony is not just a rite of passage, it's a recognition of your hard work, your dedication, and the beginning of an exciting new chapter in your careers. Let me welcome each of you personally to the Memorial Healthcare System GME family. Although you have come from diverse paths to get to this point, you are here united as one cohort with a shared mission, and that is to serve our patients and advance your own clinical skills in the process. You are embarking on a journey that will be both challenging as well as rewarding, filled with opportunities for growth and moments of profound impact. Allow me to address you with some words of advice and offer some guidance on self-reflection. The white coat that you are about to don today is a symbol of the trust placed in you by your patients, your colleagues, and society at large. It signifies professionalism, compassion, and a commitment to ethical practice. It is a reminder of the values that underpin the medical profession, values of integrity, justice, and lifelong learning. As you don this coat, remember that it's not just a garment to wear, it is a promise that healthcare workers make to uphold their contract with the public. So I would invite everyone in this room, since we're all healthcare workers, to reflect for a moment upon what it means to have a contract with the public. Graduate medical education is a transformative period. It's a time when you will learn clinical responsibilities, balancing those with your continued learning. You will encounter complex cases that baffle you intellectually and hurt you emotionally. You will work alongside experienced mentors and teaching faculty who will guide you and inspire you. Embrace every opportunity as a learning opportunity and never hesitate to ask questions. Remember that medicine is an ever-evolving field, and curiosity will oftentimes be your biggest asset. There will be moments of doubt. I sat in your shoes, decades ago, so I know the feeling of what it's like to be new to residency and the excitement as well as the trepidation. You will feel the weight of responsibility, and it can be overwhelming. In those moments, remember that you're not alone. You can lean on your colleagues, your mentors, your teaching faculty, and also your own abilities. Every patient interaction, whether it is rare or routine, is an opportunity to challenge yourself and learn. As you progress through your rotations, remember that every diagnosis is a person with hopes, fears, and dreams. Your ability to connect with your patients on a personal level will be just as important as your clinical skills. Be present, listen actively, and with empathy. These small acts of kindness can have a profound impact on the lives of our patients. Take a moment to express gratitude to those who have supported you on this journey: your family, your friends, your professors, your teachers. Their support has been instrumental in your success, and you will need their continued encouragement to navigate the challenges ahead. As you look to the future, remember that you are the future of medicine. How you navigate your GME experience here at Memorial will shape the healthcare landscape for years to come. If you go on to practice for 40 years, which is not unusual for physicians to practice for that long, you will be treating patients well into the year 2064. What will the world look like in 2064? We are relying on all of you to shape that world. Let the gravity of that reality sink in for a moment. In closing, I would like to congratulate all of you for reaching this remarkable milestone. We are excited to watch you grow, watch you learn, and to make a difference in the Memorial Healthcare System, our community in South Florida, and the larger world. Wear your white coats with pride and let it serve as a reminder of the incredible impact you can make in your long careers. Welcome to the world of graduate medical education. Welcome to the future of healthcare. So with those remarks, I'm going to keep the program going, and we are thrilled to welcome our President and CEO of the Memorial Healthcare System, Mr. Scott Wester, who'd like to say a few words.
Thank you, Dr. Chaudhry, and I would be remiss if I didn't also want to recognize Dr. Stan Marks, who was the visionary behind moving us into academic medicine and graduate medical education. Thank you for your leadership and your commitment going forward. On behalf of our Board of Commissioners, I know our Chairwoman, Liz Justin, would love to be here today, but she's tied up. But she wants to also congratulate everybody, especially those who are donning the white coats, and the recognition of the support and resources that our board has given us to the ability where we are today. So for those who don't know, we now are into our 12th residency and 4 fellowship programs. This past year, we earned the distinction of Statutory Teaching Hospital, which puts us in the top decile of academic medical centers in the state of Florida for both regional, Joe DiMaggio, and of course, West and South, and great recognition. And we've grown to be one of the top 10 largest GME programs in the state of Florida. As we know, we need a lot of physicians because we're growing about 800 to 1,000 new residents each and every year, with some of those a little bit older than others, especially our residents and fellows. So today's event celebrates what we've become under Dr. Chaudhry's leadership, and more importantly, welcomes those who will be joining our memorial family. We have 107 new trainees, including 83 GME residents and fellows, and 24 pharmacy residents that are participating in this ceremony for the first time. Thank you, the pharmacy team. We are tremendously proud of the work we do within our pharmacy division. Memorial is blessed to bestow our lab coats on those who will help shape medicine's future and provide them residence and fellowship training that includes access to a very diverse community served by one of the largest and the most dynamic and successful public health systems in the United States. 6 hospitals offering high-quality, person-centered, value-based care within the system's larger focus on population health. As you have gone through orientation, you realize we all talk about the memorial experience. What differentiates our health systems for others, as Dr. Chaudhry has indicated, we're always about patient first and patient focused. A memorial culture that prioritizes our patient and families we serve, regardless of the ability to pay, as well as the near 17,000 team members who wear the memorial badge proudly that are the secret to our success. We have a skilled teaching faculty. Thank you for the program directors for all the work that you do to be able to not only dedicate your time, but more importantly, to transfer your knowledge and your understanding to those future physicians and those physicians that are in the room. And by the way, my daughter is a third-year medical student, and she sent me a text today. She delivered a placenta. You all remember those days, right? Again, thank you for all that you contribute to Memorial Healthcare. You make us a stronger health system by your learning, our learning collectively together, and we can't thank you enough for you choosing the Memorial family. So thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm really excited to announce and give the opportunity to a wonderful keynote speaker for our evening tonight. Dr. Jeanette Southpaul is here, and I'd like to say a few words about her. She is an impressive woman. So Dr. Southpaul started her career back in 1979 to 2001, where she was active duty colonel in the U.S. Army and chair of family medicine at the Uniformed Services University of the Health Sciences. She then moved on to UPMC in Pennsylvania, where she became professor and chair, again, Department of Family Medicine. She did that from 2001 to 2020. In her various roles, she was responsible for education, research, and clinical activities, both at the UME and GME level. She ran several family medicine residencies, multiple ambulatory clinical sites in Pittsburgh, and was responsible for the academic mission of over 5 family medicine residencies in the state of Pennsylvania. She has served in leadership positions for the Society of Teachers of Family Medicine, the American Academy of Family Physicians, the AAMC, and was inducted as president of the Society of Teachers of Family Medicine. Later on, she was elected to the Institute of Medicine, which is now called the National Academy of Medicine, which is a very big deal. That happened in 2011, and later was inducted into the Gold Humanism Honor Society. So you can see when you're that talented and you've contributed so much to medicine, when you try to retire, they don't let you. So she tried to retire and they pulled her back, and she's currently now serving as Executive Vice President and Provost of Meharry Medical College. And it's my pleasure and honor to welcome Dr. Southpaw to the stage.
Thanks so much, Dr. Chaudhry, and thanks to Mr. Wester, and thanks for all of you welcoming me here to share a few words with you as you don your white coats. I'm really honored to be here with you. I want to tell you a little history. You know, white coat ceremonies originated at the University of Chicago School of Medicine in 1989. However, it was in 1993 that Dr. Arnold Gold, a pediatric neurologist, who created the first full-fledged white coat ceremony at Columbia University School of Medicine, College of Physicians and Surgeons. And that marked a change in tradition from first reciting the Hippocratic oath at a commencement to incorporating this oath with receipt of the white coat. And this was done when folks began their first year of study. The intent was to provide students with well-defined guidelines regarding the expectations and responsibilities appropriate for the medical profession prior to that first day of class. Since then, the white coat tradition has rapidly spread to schools of medicine, dentistry, pharmacy, optometry, and nursing globally. So as you enter the next stage of your medical training, who would have imagined how so many men, women, and children are embroiled in wars and conflict in Europe, the Middle East, and the African continent, with the tragic loss of thousands of lives? I doubt that any of you could have imagined these ongoing tragedies when you decided to pursue your medical and health sciences education and training. You probably imagined being somewhat anxious when you faced your first patient as a newly minted physician or pharmacist. You'd have your cell phone handy in your pocket, as opposed to the several manuals that we used to keep in our white coat pockets a few years ago. You do it all on your phones these days. We didn't have cell phones. I know, it's an amazing thought. And that's what happens with us boomers. But you wanted to be able to verify information about the patient's presenting complaint. You'd recall all you had learned about your first patient evaluation and try to achieve all that you had learned in your medical interviewing and physical diagnosis courses. Then you'd spend time with your first patients showing them that the attentiveness and compassion and consideration to which you were committed when you first embarked on your journey as a healthcare clinician. But how do you know you'll retain that commitment to being a physician who embraces humanism in your daily professional life? Will your commitment withstand your first crisis? What will your first crisis be? What are the factors that will influence your behaviors? A study of medical students in the Northeast U.S. back in 2009 revealed that medical students experience a rapid decline in their empathy throughout their third year as they increased their patient care activities, and this persisted through their entire time in medical school until graduation. And then, of course, we had the COVID-19 pandemic that periodically resurges. And then the racial and ethnic conflict that we saw, as well as political violence with our own borders, and the global conflicts and how will all of these events impact your transition into this next stage of your medical career? Will you recognize the suffering of individuals whose backgrounds differ from yours? This is not a new question, and has been discussed in many formats in both the clinical and the non-clinical literature. What's happening? For example, the best-selling author Malcolm Gladwell recently wrote a book, Talking to Strangers, What We Should Know About the People We Don't Know. And he focused on the confusions that often occur when we are trying to communicate with those we don't know, or I would suggest to those whose backgrounds are unfamiliar to us. Or as Gladwell says, when we're talking to strangers. And isn't that what you're going to be doing? And tragic circumstances have arisen from misunderstandings in history and have impacted how countries have managed conflict and how the justice system has gone awry in this country, just to mention 2 areas where poor communication has been evident. Now, I would submit to you that your approach to the patients you do not know and may never see again is a reflection of how you view the world and what you prioritize. But it also reflects how you see yourself. A modern parable was told by Gordon MacDonald in his book, The Life God Blesses. And he describes a man who was a member of a yacht club and decided to commission a new vessel, which he called the Persona, that would impress his fellow club members. And as he sorted out his priorities of time and resources, he said to himself, why should I spend money on time on what is out of anyone's sight? When I listen to the conversations of people at the club, I can never remember anybody remembering or commenting on the underside of a boat. Rather, my yachting colleagues, are really excited about the color and the shape of the boat's sails, the brass fittings, its cabin and creature comforts, decks and wood texture, speed, and the skill that wins the Sunday afternoon regatta. So he focused his design on construction on what others could see. And that part soon gleamed with excellence and generally ignored what was below the waterline. When the day came for the boat's maiden voyage, the people of the club joined him at dockside. There was a bottle of champagne that was broken over the bow, and the moment came for the man to set sail. And soon the beautiful Persona was only a blip on the horizon. And as it cut through the swells, the builder and owner gripped the rudder with a feeling of fierce pride, what he had accomplished. But a few miles out to sea, a storm arose. Not a hurricane, but not a squall either. There were sudden wind gusts in excess of 40 knots, waves above 15 feet, and the Persona began to shudder. And water swept over the sides. Bad things began to happen, and the poise of the captain began to waver. He looked about and saw none of his fellow sailors who had cheered him on his maiden voyage. Nobody was there now. The other boats that had been with him early in the voyage had long since turned back, but he had not noticed. Within minutes, the colorful sails were in shreds. The masts splintered, and the teak wood decks and the lavishly appointed cabin was awash in water. And then a big wave came and capsized the vessel completely. Because its builder had ignored the importance of what was below the waterline, there was no weight there. In a moment when a well-designed keel and an adequate ballast might have saved the ship, they were nowhere to be found. This man had concerned himself with the appearance of things and not enough with resilience and stability in the secret, unseen places where storms are withstood. He never contemplated being in a situation he could not manage. Now, the reality is, we often cannot predict what crises we will face. There comes a time when each of us realizes the importance of surrounding ourselves with wise and faithful companions. They are there long after you leave your nuclear family. They help you prioritize what is important. Wise companions perhaps could have stopped the self-absorbed yachtsman and cautioned him to reconsider his plans. Wise companions who would have stopped Officer Chauvin from brutally restraining and murdering George Floyd, as he did. Martin Luther King says that our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. You cannot be successful in medicine or in pharmacy or science as a soloist. The only way to survive and excel in extraordinary times is as a team. Cultivate your team. You can survive amazing stressors as a member of the right team. Remember, as Shanafelt has emphasized in his work, that if you do not tend to yourself, you are more likely to become cynical and less effective, a sure pathway to burnout. And that's something you don't want to do. Our military service members understand this and live this every day. I rest in knowing my sons who are in the Army are embraced as brothers by their teammates, their battle buddies. When a friend asked me how I felt about women going into combat with my sons, my response was, it will be fine, as long as they have his back and he will have their back. as long as they'll buddy carry him over their shoulders if he gets injured and transports him to safety just the way he would do if they needed help. There should be no gender discrimination as we preserve equitable competence and requirements. So, well, who comprises your team? Answer the question for yourselves now. Take a few minutes. When did your team start to form? How are you nurturing your teammates? How are they nurturing you? Now, my team began when I was born in Hale County, Alabama, in the town of Greensboro, in a white Southern doctor's office because no hospital south of Birmingham would deliver a Negro woman, let alone one who was a non-citizen who spoke with an accent. My mother lay on his couch for 2 more hours after he delivered me and then went home to continue her life. My mother encouraged my 5 siblings and me every day she was alive to keep focused on the Lord and God in heaven, each other, our communities, and to feel proud we were Americans. She and my father instilled in their children responsibility to care for others. During the 54 years they were married, they modeled the principles of faith, family, integrity, and service. My father, up until his passing, preached the importance of valuing the individual no matter his or her particular weakness. He ever stood up for the underdog and demanded his children to do the same. They were my first team. My dedicated Philadelphia public school teachers were my second team. So they supported my thirst for knowledge. My colleagues were my next team, my fellow students and residents with whom I cross-covered my patients. Sorry, a couple of blank pages stuck in there. And during training and thereafter, these were the people who were my team. I remained close and even continue to work with my former medical school classmates, even though it was decades ago, who also chose family medicine and/or internal medicine and many other specialties, and we worked together. The relationships you're building today will strengthen you tomorrow. They are your team. Care for one another. Gain strength in times of weakness through each other. Battle depression by sharing with each other. Do not hesitate to seek professional help if you need to. Experience your joys as a team. Fight your battles with your allies. Keep your faith through the support of others. But let me return to my earlier comments about how you manage when the person in front of you comes from a very different background than you, to whose journey you may be unable to relate. How do you manage that situation? I would suggest you first consider the characteristics that you share rather than those with which you differ. If they are anxious, consider the last time you were anxious. If they are complaining of pain, consider the last time you wrestled with your own pain. Retire your preconceived notions of people like them and ask specific questions to understand the patient in front of you. When you see a patient with a severe or terminal illness, try to connect them to what was important to them before the disease encompassed them. Ask them about themselves. Refrain from focusing on what you think their political or moral convictions are. That's not your role as their healer. As the SARS-CoV-2 pandemic has engulfed our communities, we listen to daily reports of numbers diagnosed, followed by the numbers of ventilators, and then the numbers who had died. Remember that they are warm spirits who were members of families, co-workers, public figures, folks you know and love. But then realize that everyone affected has not been a citizen or a resident of the United States. Many have had limited to no access to care during this frightening pandemic. Don't consider them aliens from another land, as we live in a global world, and they will be your patients, your colleagues, your neighbors. For some, the prospect of starvation has overwhelmed their concerns about the virus and has prompted them to take extraordinary measures to care for those they love. Consider the case of Jyoti Kumari in Bihar State, India. Jyoti was a 15-year-old young lady who biked 745 miles carrying her disabled father on the back of her bicycle, returning to their village in eastern India to escape starvation in a suburb of New Delhi. where they had been locked down during the pandemic with no income, according to the AP reports. Her father was unable to walk after an accident and had earned a living by driving an auto rickshaw, but was left among millions of newly unemployed. As the temperature climbed, Kumari pedaled for 10 days with her father riding in the back of her hot pink bicycle. They survived on food and water from strangers. The Cycling Federation of India, which sends teams to the Olympics, were so impressed by the tenacity and the love of this young lady that they offered to bring her back to New Delhi to try out for the upcoming Olympics. Pause and think about this amazing teen. If you saw her along the way, she probably wouldn't have looked very impressive. She'd undoubtedly be shabby, hungry looking, and wouldn't smell very fresh and fragrant, would she? How often have you seen someone dismissed or ignored because they were dirty or smelly? What would be your first impression of her, and how would you treat her? Would you see the steel spine and amazing resolve that infused this amazing teen? So as you approach this seminal time in your education, you're probably saying, when is she going to stop? Stay true to yourself, but also stay true to those who depend on you, to those you serve. Stop before you let your pride, and yes, your arrogance, that you've achieved the distinguished title of doctor, compel you to believe that you know more about that patient than the patient knows about him or herself. Rather, consider them a part of your tribe. You will treat them well. We seldom discuss our tribe here in the United States and could learn so much from our Native American colleagues or those from many parts of the world that prioritize tribal identity. But I want you to think tribe today, T-R-I-B-E, as you start your journey into caring for patients. One's tribe is such an important concept because it signifies a shared history, experience, understanding, and commitment to each other. Think of T as for trust. Show them trust so they can bond with you and you'll be honest with them. R is reward. Feel the reward of our great profession as you care for them. I is integrity. Honor others and uphold the truth and your word above all. B is best. Always provide the very best you can to everyone, not some more than others. Just good enough is not good enough. And E is ethics. Consider the ethics of everything you do and maintain the highest standard. Your journey to being a humanistic physician or pharmacist has already begun and will be nurtured or hindered along your path depending on the choices you make. Personal character and your anchoring principles determine your path and reflect your values and priorities. Nourish them, and in so doing, you will nourish yourself so you can be your best self. Manage setbacks, disappointments, and failures because they will come as long as you walk this earth. Join and embrace the right team. Seek your divine anchor, one that will not falter even when your human weakness seems overwhelming. I wish you a wonderful year, one of enrichment, learning, joy, and satisfaction, that you are developing your best selves to do your best for the least of these. Congratulations as you are privileged to take this next step in your medical careers. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Southpaw, thank you. I will be thinking about my tribe for the next couple of days. Okay, we're at the part of the ceremony where we are going to begin the coding, and we have the honor of having Dr. Ari Sorelli, our CMO, do us the honors. He's going to come up, say a few words, and get the program started.
Perfect. All right. The good news is that the names are there. I'll be able to read them out. The bad news is that Dr. Southpaw's speech was so excellent, I was making notes for myself and just crossing out all the things that I was going to talk about tonight because she said them all. But I will give you my version on them, and I promise to keep my comments brief. So good afternoon or good evening to everyone. It really is a pleasure to be here tonight and have the opportunity to say a few words and to participate in the white coat ceremony. I wanted to echo words that we heard earlier. I really wanted to thank our chairwoman, Elizabeth Justin, that I know is attending via the link that Simon and Stephanie set up, as well as our Board of Commissioners and our executive team, our CEO and President, Mr. Scott Wester, for their support of our GME program. It truly is remarkable when you pause, and I remember where we were just a few years ago, and then look out to the sea of residents that are about to don their white coat tonight. It truly, truly is a remarkable achievement, and I want to thank everyone for your support and commitment to GME. It truly has transformed our institution. The next thing that I promised Dr. Marks and Simon Chowdhury that they'd get bored of me here talking about it every year is a special thank you to them. There's a very good reason that this ceremony is called the Stan Marks White Coat Ceremony, because Stan and Simon were really the visionary leaders that put this program together. It's one thing keeping the program going, it's absolutely another one planting the flag, believing, coming up with a vision, and doing the work, planting the seeds that have really led to what this is today. And this is a crowning success. You heard our CEO and President, Mr. Scott Wester, talk about a statutory teaching hospital. That is a remarkable achievement for any organization. For us to have achieved that when we are so young in GME, it truly is a monumental achievement. So thank you, Simon. Thank you, Stan. I always refer to you guys as the tip of the spear. Okay. Next, I wanted to thank our remarkable faculty. And we're going to get back to you a little bit later. But really, you guys are the driving force, the energy, and you really are this GME program. I feel so fortunate to have you taking this role on, that our residents have entrusted you with their education. And I want to thank you all for the tremendous amount of commitment and your dedication to GME. We all know the effort that it takes, and you guys just don't do it. You do it amazingly well. And we've seen our graduating residents, our graduating fellows, and those are the things that you should be proud of, not because I'm talking about it today, but as we like to say, the proof is in the pudding. You guys get to see the reward. So I do want to personally clap for all of you guys. Thank you to our amazing faculty and our program directors. On the same vein, our programs couldn't run without the tremendous support structure that exists with our program coordinators, with Dr. Susie Miner, and all the leaders that plan and execute on the ideas that our faculty and program directors have. So thank you to all the to all the coordinators and to all the staff that's involved in GME, in CME, and really keeping our enterprise afloat. There are many people in the background, like our finance teams, like our strategic planning teams, our marketing teams, our Office of Human Resource, our Office of Human Research. That was a bad one to miss. So, all right, quick reference to that. Of all the ones to be like, okay, the real Dr. Sorelli, for those of you that don't know, okay, runs our Office of Human Research, also my better half. So apologies for that misstep, but that was just Murphy's Law taking care of that. All right. Thank you, but really, thank you to everyone. It really does take a monumental effort to keep the enterprise going, and I appreciate the work that everyone puts into it. I know I said I'll keep this brief, but to me that I'm talking for quite a long time. But anyway, I do have a real message. For everyone tonight. And I think that it's important to talk about our culture and the culture at Memorial. And I think what's amazing is that so many elements of our culture have been touched on by our keynote speaker tonight. So when we think about the Memorial culture, it's easy to say and it's much harder to define. And the reinterpretation of the Memorial culture is really three key components. And you really did touch on all of them tonight. And the first one is that we truly are a patient and family-centered organization. That's at the core of our being. That's what we are here for. The patient and their family, we are here to serve. You'll see that permeate through every aspect and every facet of the organization, whether it's our CEOs walking patients and the families around, whether it's our environmental services staff note that there's food in the trash and seeing that the patients feel okay. Every single person is dedicated to the patient and their family at the core of it. Number two, an inherent part of our culture is no matter what the baseline is, no matter how bad, good, mediocre, or excellent we are at anything that we do, a core component of the Memorial culture is always striving to do better, always looking for ways to improve. How can we get better? How can we improve? How can we deliver our mission? How can we look after our patients and their families in a more compassionate way, in a more effective way? And truly, our GME programs were built to support that mission. And lastly, and perhaps most importantly, is the firm belief that the healthcare system is equipment, bricks, and mortar. And really what makes the Memorial culture, what makes us special, is all the people that are sitting in the room today. That's the true asset of Memorial. That's the true value of the healthcare system. And our goal for your education as you embark upon the next phase of your education is really for you to embrace that culture. Our faculty will dedicate themselves not only to mentor you and teach you the academics, the procedures, the surgical skills that you'll need, but what we strive for is to impart that Memorial culture, that core, that fundamental belief that makes us special physicians, that makes us special professionals in the healthcare system. All right, the next element is a quick one, don't worry. I want to talk about a dichotomy. So Dr. Southpaul spoke about teamwork, and that is one half of my dichotomy. As we try to be the best physicians that we can, I think there's two pivotal components to that dichotomy. The first one, as we heard, is teamwork. We are all part of a team. The days when a single physician delivers healthcare, those days are long gone. We have to realize all the different elements that fit into that team. Who's your team? What is the nurse doing? What is the radiologist doing? What is the pharmacist doing? What is environmental services doing? What is the pharmacist, the patient care coordinator? Everyone is part of that team, and healthcare is so complex that we need to understand how we all can rely on one another and how all of us work for a singular goal, and that's the patient. So that's one half of the dichotomy. The second half of the dichotomy, and one of the things that I hope you'll remember from today's talk, is the concept of individual impact. And my ask of you as we sit here tonight is, although you always work as part of a team, never ever underestimate the individual impact that you can make in a patient's life. We see our patients at the hardest time of their lives. Anything that you are able to do to lessen that burden multiplies itself 1,000-fold in impact value for the patient and their family. And my ask of you because I think that's the greatest challenge facing physicians in general today, is all the noise that surrounds our world, all the noise that surrounds healthcare, the electronic medical record, the finances of medicine, getting this done, running to lectures, doing this, doing that. There's so much noise and so much distraction. But my ask of you is never to underestimate the individual impact that you make in a patient's lives. That is what we are there for. Don't ever lose sight of that focus. And I'm finishing off, promise, no more concepts after this, I promise. That's, Candy's going to throw something at me. Rhonda will help her if she misses on the first throw. And I'm going to steal a line from our first keynote speaker that came to our first white coat ceremony. And that keynote speaker suggested that every single person in the room write 3 values that they think are important for physicians to have. Keep them in their pocket, and when you graduate, look at what you think is important to you. And I'll share my 3 with you. Yours may be different, but I thought that was a good exercise to go through. And my 3 always stay the same. And the first one, and again, thank you to Dr. Southpaul because she mentioned it, the first one has to be integrity. Without integrity, as physicians, as healthcare professions, we have no base. We have nothing to build on. Someone that I asked the question of what's important to you told me integrity, and I asked, define it. And he said, that's what you do when the lights are off. That's the core principles that your parents impart onto you. That's integrity. The second one is humility. Humility is so important in our profession. We always have more to learn. We have to understand that we're a part of a team, and we always need to stay humble. We always need to learn. We always need to strive to do better. That's the second component. And the third one is truly compassion. And for me, it's compassion plus. After tonight, no one will ever recognize me ever again because I never wear suits. They only come out for this event and maybe 2 other events. Usually I'm in green scrubs. My background is pulmonary and critical care, so I work in our ICUs. I'll get to work with some of you, but you'll introduce yourselves to me again because you'll never remember me. I look completely different in scrubs. But going back to compassion, compassion for me is when my patients die, you have to die just a little inside. You have to care that much. It has to be that important to you. That's the core purpose of our being, and that's what you have to put out there. That's our contract with our patients when we commit to take this on. You have to take compassion and never lose that. So those are my 3 principles, and with those, as I promised, I will now change the tone of the speech from serious to more lighthearted. But again, I want to wish you guys a very successful and fruitful education, and I look forward to working with you guys on the units. Okay, so next up, we'll be starting the donning of the white coats. Okay, we have to take notes here because we could have disastrous consequences. If more than 5 people step on the stage, the entire stage will collapse. If people by mistake climb onto the white stage and try and leave that way, our trauma surgeons will be busy attending to you because there's no stairs. So what we're going to do, I'm going to call up the faculty of your program, call everyone, first the faculty will stand up, call you up by name, we're going to line up in the front, and then we're going to basically clap, shoot fireworks. If I'm standing up here to coordinate events, not to worry. They'll just edit me out of the pictures. You don't have to worry about that. And then following the white coats, we will be going outside to the front in order to take pictures. Okay, so here we go. First, we'll start with anesthesiology. So I saw that Dr. Hausman was here. I didn't see which other faculty are here too, but please, if Dr. Hausman and your faculty can come up. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, well, we can clap for them afterwards. The residents are the real clappers. Okay, so then we will call up the residents. So Philip Cifuentes, Ryan Stalder, and Aaron Wong, if you can please come up. Now we can clap. Yeah. Okay, that's not intubation, it's okay. It's okay to have a few misses. Okay, and here we go. The donning of the codes, big clap. All right, excellent. You can exit from the left, flat ground, it's not a stage, no risk, and to Picture City. All right, very good. All right, next we'll welcome Dr. Leon Melnitsky, who's the EM Program Director, and the rest of the faculty that are here today. So please come forward. Okay. And I'd like to call on the residents, Dr. Farah Azuz, Dr. Alexandra Blanco, Nicholas Booth, Alexander Butovsky, Marianne Lopez, Spencer Rice, Claudia Rissel, Kyle Schneider, Kyle Seifert, and Samantha Stein. All right, we can give them a big hand. All right, okay. Bring it in a little bit so everyone stands on the red. Bring it in, pretend to be friends, teams, tribes, keywords. Bring it in, okay. And the donning of the white coats. Okay, go ahead, can don. Again, don't worry, there's no pressure for intubation. We can just put them on. It's okay, guys. All right, one second. Okay, a final pose for the crowd. Okay, here we go. Okay, and to Picture City on the left. Congratulations, everyone. Okay, so next we will bring on the general surgery residents. Dr. Holly Neville, the program director, my co-pilot and associate CMO, Dr. Tammy Levine, our associate program director, any additional faculty that are here today, and the residents. Stephanie Massimilian, Valerie Rosen, Sahajpreet Singh, Maria Vashenko, Alexander Young, and Samantha Young. Okay, all right, excellent. Donning of the coats. Yeah, it's quite interesting that the surgeons are much better at donning white coats than emergency medicine and anesthesiology, guys. All right, big hand. Okay, smile for the crowds. Okay, excellent. Great. Okay, Picture City on the left. Very good. All right, excellent learning. This is a good start. All right, next OBGYN, and please come forward is Dr. Hunter. I see you there, our program director and our faculty. And next is Jordana Borges, Andrea Delinish, Ashley McGrath, and William Sruji. Close? Okay, all right, come in. Big hand for them. Okay, excellent. All right, and donning of the coats. All right, excellent. Don't feel pressure, you guys don't have to intubate. It's like this. All right, get together for a nice picture. Okay, fireworks, excellent. Great. Okay, good work, guys, and off to Picture City on the left. Congratulations. Okay. All right, one of our biggest programs, the internal medicine programs. Please, as we welcome our faculty, Dr. Ahmed Shuraiba, our program director, associate program director, many dedicated faculty members here today. There's going to have to be a lot of love for this so we can get everyone in the same picture. All right, and it's a pleasure to call on the internal medicine residents, Dr. Rubia Ali, Dr. Rodolfo Alves Lopez, Dr. Elizabeth Caldera, Dr. Sebastian Camargo, Aditi Chakshi, Christian Day, Ganesh Gul, Sean Idbole, Anha Islam, Samara Khan, Joshua Lamberg. Oh, I see you guys, actually, you can do 3 lines. You can do 3 lines. I was just checking to see if I would have to tell you. Dr. Isabella Lugo, Dr. Anna Paula Lucas, Runel Joyce Manalastis, Alfredo Perez Tagli Tejada, Alondro Robles Rodriguez, Harim Binta Salim, Dr. Maham Shafkat, and Dr. Zara Shah. Oh, how are we doing with fitting in? No one wanted to go for that brave third row, I see. Okay, I just said that for nothing. But wait, cuddle up a little bit so we can get you all in one picture. Go for a third row. Can you not do it without standing on toes? Yes, you're the third row leader. Third row leader, nominated, teamwork, tribe, third row leader. You guys that are standing here by yourself, okay, bring him back, cuddle up. We got them, have you got them? Okay, all right, we got all of you guys. Good work. Donning of the coats. All right, let's put on those white coats. Mental note for next year, eliminate 1 row of chairs. Okay, excellent. All right, and big hand from everyone. Woo! All right, excellent. Congratulations, everyone, and off to Picture City on the left. Walk slowly, especially that third row leader. Okay, next we have our pediatric residents, Carice Pinkney, our program director, and additional faculty members. Please come forward. Okay, great. We have our residents, Yael Bouton, Brenda Cisneros Gonzalez, Diana Marie Edwards, Simone Hunter, Laura Molineros, Marta Telatin, Marianne Vaca, and Kylie Van Warmer. Okay, excellent, good work. And the official donning of the white coats. Dun, 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 dun. Excellent. One more white coat. Not an intubation, not to worry. Okay, here we go. And is it possible they switch me off intentionally? Okay, and please, off to the left to Picture City. All right, good work, guys. Okay. All right, next it's a pleasure to welcome our neurology residents, Program Director Dr. Sangal, and George Diaz, our Associate Program Director, additional faculty. Please come forward. And it's our pleasure to welcome Adi Aylon, Pradeep Joseph, Minhal Zara Koja, and Jasmine Price. Okay, all right, we can give them a hand. Let's not get tired. All right, and well, but there's no 3 rows here, so you guys can be in the middle, you can take a few steps to the right, have a symmetrical picture. All right, the donning of the coats. Dun, 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 dun. Here we go, excellent work, and pose. All right, there we go. All right, congratulations. All right, very good. Next, psychiatry. I don't see who's here from our faculty. If I can welcome our psychiatry faculty, Dr. Jorge Sotelo, the remainder of the faculty. Oh, you guys were hidden there, I apologize. But you can wear your white coats. You've already donned. All right, very good. And it's a pleasure to welcome our residents from psychiatry. And that's Talia Adrian, Katharina Apadu, Emilio Hospitalis, Betsy Trujillo. Okay, congratulations, guys. And the donning of the white coats. All right, very good. Congratulations. Picture, love each other, tribe it. Excellent. And off to the left to Picture City. Okay, great. Okay. All right, so I just want to ask the crowd not to discriminate against the peoples whose specialties start with the letter P and above. We should still have the same enthusiasm for clapping for PM&R. Okay, woo! All right, very nice. Okay, so next it's our pleasure to welcome the PM&R team faculty. Here we go from different areas. Come in, come in, come in, come in. And our pleasure to welcome the residents, Muhammad Kaki, Dev Patel, Luis Perez, and Margaret Sweeney. Woo! Okay. Excellent. All right, and the donning of the coats. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, nice work. Okay, don't worry. It's rehab. It can take a while, but as long as the outcome is good, it's good to go. No, the outcome is important, not the time it takes. It's not like intubation in the ED. It's only the outcomes. All right, very good, guys. All right, let's take a picture. Big clap. Very nice. All right, excellent. Congratulations. But you guys didn't follow instructions. Did you go have your pictures first? Picture city on the left. We'll let you cross the midline. We'll let you cross. Cross again. We're going to go to the left, and we're going to get a picture. Just in case the editing me out doesn't work, they want to back up. Okay, very good. Next is our podiatry faculty. Let's give them a hand. And it's a pleasure to welcome our residents, Jason Brandwine and Ulutobi Jinadu. Donning. Woo! Okay, pose for loving picture. All right, excellent. Very good. Congratulations, guys. Picture on the left. All right, next, our transitional year. If I can welcome our faculty, if our faculty can come up. Okay. And we are pleased to welcome Dr. Shannon Hart, Dr. Lilia Maria Lima de Oliveira, Dr. Eric Schaefer, Juan Serrano, Yaeli Stauber, and Sarah Stewart. We can give them a hand. Okay, donning of the coats. One more coat. Okay, excellent. Big hand, cuddle together. We're just getting set up, no pressure. Okay, cuddle. All right, very good. And off to the left for picture time. All right, next, allergy and immunology. Dr. Chang's going to stay up, the team's going to stay up, very good. And we're pleased to welcome Claudia Aniot and Elena Javier de Almeida. Big hand. Don, excellent. Picture, great. Fireworks. Nice, okay, good. Okay, here we go. All right, excellent. So we did move on to our fellowship. So our next fellowship up is our cardiology fellowship. I saw John Roberts in the crowd and the other faculty for our cardiology fellowship. Please come forward. First you, John. Okay. Okay, and then our fellows, Dr. Kamahi Harrising, Dr. Karan Pahuja, Dr. Louis Polino, Dr. Shayna Wainshaw, Dr. Zinyan. Okay, Oh, wait, there's a list here with phonetics. Oh, you should have told me that. All right, the donning. Okay, donning time. All right, excellent. Big hand. Okay. And tribal photo. Bring it in, bring it in. All right, excellent. Okay, pictures on the left. Okay, hematology, oncology. Dr. Hatif Hussain. Bring your faculty up. Okay. Thank you for joining. Meredith Feinberg, part of the team. Okay, and we are going to welcome our fellows for Heme Onc, Dr. Sandas Ali, Dr. Abat Khan, Dr. Amy Kiamus, Dr. Lov Purohit, and Virginia Velez Quinones. Big hand. Okay, an immediate transition into the donning, even without instruction. That's because these guys are fellows. They're not residents anymore. It's okay. The residents don't have to feel bad. This is advanced training. All right. Doffed on. Group picture. Okay, and big hand. All right. Ken Poon. All right, we are delighted to welcome Ken Poon, our program leaders for our Fellowship for Infectious Diseases. Please come up. And Dr. Elsa Savedo Martinez, our fellow. Woo! And the donning, excellent. All right, bring it in together for a group photo. Okay, excellent. Woo! Okay. And with that, I believe that is the end of my list. Are there any undonned residents or fellows in the audience? Speak now or forever hold your peace. No, everyone's good. We are covered. No, we're not finished. Aha. See, that's why I put it up there. Am I also announcing the pharmacy? Oh, you see, that is not my speaking part. So I will yield the floor to Dr. Chowdhury. Thank you for allowing me to do this for, I guess, the final year, but that's okay. I'll see if I can worm my way back into it for next year. Thank you, everyone. You're a great audience.
Okay. Can I, Susie, can I have that? Okay, Dr. Sorelli, excellent job, as always, keeping us on time and entertained, as usual, so thank you. Okay, so this year, I mentioned that we have the pleasure of including our new pharmacy residents into the white coat ceremony. And to present our new pharmacy residents and have us coat them, I'm going to invite their program director and manager for the pharmacy residency, Carla Hawkins-Smith.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much, MHS. Pharmacy would like to say thank you to GME for allowing us to collaborate with you all. Not only are we at the white coat ceremony, we're always also with the physicians at the bedside with rounding, order entry, order verification, and patient safety. And we're so happy to be among the academics of MHS, Dr. Chaudhry and the planning team, Dr. Southpaw, MHS leadership, Dr. Marks, the other VIPs in leadership. Thank you so much for allowing us to participate. This is definitely a step up for us, and we're looking forward to doing this every year now. It's hard to follow Dr. Sorelli, but we're going to give it a try. I would like to bring to the stage now, or in front of the stage, our 2024 PGY1 pharmacy residents, first of which is Memorial Hospital Miramar. Preceptors, please come up. And we congratulate Hannah Miller, Tama Al-Hamali, and Naychelis Ayala Mendez. You may now don your coats. Thank you. Next, we have Memorial Hospital Pembroke. Preceptors. Sandy Lee and Sri Lakshmi Rajiv are the PGY1 residents for Memorial Pembroke. You may now don your coats. Thank you. Memorial Hospital West, PGY1. Preceptors. And the PGY1 residents for Memorial Hospital West are Phoenicia Walters, Danielle De Silva, and Mallory Watler. You may now don your coats. Thank you. Okay. The PGY1 residents for Memorial Regional Hospital, preceptors, director of pharmacy, managers. And our PGY1 residents for regional are Rama Atwan, Lindsay Brooks, Kyle Holder, Deandra Lee, Christina Thompson, Tiana Montague, and Ashley Hicks. You may now don your coats. Congratulations. Memorial Regional Hospital South, preceptors. And the PGY1 pharmacy residents for South are Sebastian Alvarez and Vina No. You may now don your coats. Thank you. And so now we have our PGY2 pharmacy residents, the first of which, Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital, Director of Pharmacy. And the resident is Rosalind Gonzalez. You may now don your coats. Memorial Cancer Institute, PGY2 in Oncology, preceptors. And the oncology residents are Arlette Bakayayo and Stephanie Atala. You may now don your coats. Thank you. Memorial Hospital West, PGY2 and infectious diseases. The PGY2 resident for ID is Alyssa Cox. And last but not least, we have the PGY2 residents for Memorial Regional Hospital, Emergency Medicine, Murray Michelle. Preceptors, all can come up. PGY2 in Psychiatry, Juhi Saxena. PGY2 in Critical Care, Meredith McAfee. So with this last group, I'll try to make it a little more fancy like Dr. Sorelli did. You may now don your coats. Thank you.
Okay, so congratulations to all our new interns, fellows, and residents. A big round of applause to all of you guys. Okay, so we're at the part of the ceremony where we are going to be celebrating with the Hippocratic Oath. And there's no better person to do that than my mentor and friend, Dr. Stanley Marks. Stan, as you all know, has been a visionary here for medical education and GME, and we're honored to have you back.
Thanks. So I too have some brief remarks, but not quite as extensive as Dr. Sorelli. But quite frankly, I do want to draw attention to two people in the room. First, we have an unbelievable research program in this organization. And the real Dr. Sorelli, Dr. Candy Sorelli, heads that up. So any of you that are interested in doing research in any of your areas, that's the individual to go to. And you can't be an academic center without doing research. So I encourage any and all of you to get involved in that. And the other person is, you'll notice on the back of this thing is the Hippocratic Oath, right? Do you believe how small this print is? Do you believe how old I am? Amy San Martin, thank you. So, one of the things that's really a joy for me is to be honored with this white coat ceremony. I think one of the really nice things to have happen to you is to have something named after you while you're still alive. So thank you all, and thank the foundation for this great honor. So if all the residents, do we have them all back from photo shoots? Will all the residents, and actually all the healthcare providers in the room, please rise, and we'll do this oath together. And everybody's holding it out here except me now. And this is the more modern oath. So read with me, all of you. I swear to fulfill to the best of my ability and judgment this covenant. I will respect the hard-won scientific gains of those physicians in whose steps I walk, and gladly share such knowledge as is mine with those who are to follow. I will apply for the benefit of the sick all measures that are required, avoiding those twin traps of overtreatment and therapeutic nihilism. I will remember that there is art to medicine as well as science, and that warmth, sympathy, and understanding may outweigh the surgeon's knife or chemist's drug. I will not be ashamed to say I know not, nor will I fail to call in my colleagues when the skills of another are needed for a patient's recovery. I will respect the privacy of my patients, for their problems are not disclosed to me, that the word may know. Especially must I treat with care in matters of life and death. If it is given me to save a life, all thanks, but it may also be within my power to take a life. This awesome responsibility must be faced with great humbleness and awareness of my own frailty. Above all, I must not play at God. I will remember that I do not treat a fever chart, a cancerous growth, but a sick human being whose illness may affect the person's family and economic stability. My responsibility includes these related problems if I am to care adequately for the sick. I will prevent disease wherever I can, for prevention is preferable to cure. I will remember that I remain a member of society with special obligations to all my fellow human beings, those sound of mind and body, as well as the infirm. If I do not violate this oath, may I enjoy life and art, respected where I live, remembered with affection thereafter. May I always act so as to preserve the finest traditions of my calling, and may I long experience the joys of healing those who may seek my help. I promise to devote myself to a lifetime of service to others. Pharmacy. One final word before the pharmacy oath, and that is, Sima mentioned it, and all of the speakers have mentioned it. Really remember, it's not a diagnosis. It's a person that you're going to be caring for. It's a fellow human being. It's a father, a mother, a grandparent, a son, a sister, a daughter. The real issue is you're going to be caring for people. Get to know their names. Their names and who they are far more important than understanding and knowing. Not understanding, you need to understand their disease. But don't label them with their disease. So Godspeed to all of you. Congratulations. And my
Okay, to offer the oath for the pharmacists, we have one of our clinical pharmacy coordinators here, Nayela Montes.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you again for having us. It really is such a true pleasure to be able to have our white coat ceremony in conjunction to continue that interprofessional healthcare that we provide to all of our patients. So can our pharmacy residents and preceptors please stand up for me and turn to the back of the pamphlet to recite the oath of the pharmacist. I promise to devote myself to a lifetime of service to others through the profession of pharmacy in fulfilling this vow. I will consider the welfare of humanity and relief of suffering my primary concerns. I will promote inclusion, embrace diversity, and advocate for justice to advance health equity. I will apply my knowledge, experience, and skills to the best of my ability to assure optimal outcomes for all patients. I will respect and protect all personal and health information entrusted to me. I will accept the responsibility to improve my professional knowledge, expertise, and self-awareness. I will hold myself and my colleagues to the highest principles of our profession's moral, ethical, and legal conduct. I will embrace and advocate changes that improve patient care. I will utilize my knowledge, skills, experiences, and values to prepare the next generation of pharmacists. I take these vows voluntarily with the full realization of the responsibility with which I am entrusted by the public. And if everyone can join me in a round of applause for our pharmacy residents. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you all for sticking with us. I want to take a moment to thank the wonderful Office of Academic Affairs staff who work so diligently every single day and have put together what I think was a really beautiful ceremony. So thank you. Thank you to all of them, Stephanie, Dr. Miner, Amy, Anissa, who really did the bulk of the work here, Francisco. You guys are true champs, and we really, really appreciate you every day. I want to take a special moment to just recognize one of my administrative staff. She's sitting in the back. She's not expecting this, Miss Cindy Gadea. You may know her. You may know Cindy as our Director of Undergraduate Medical Education. She's been with me for 5 years. And, you know, I was reflecting upon all the learning and all the milestones and all the advancement that's going to follow all of our interns and fellows as they progress through the next, 1 to 5 years in their training. And we expect them to grow and learn and improve. It's really, really, it really warms my heart when I see some of my administrative staff take on the exact same values. And Cindy's doing exactly that. After 5 years here at Memorial, she has decided to go back to school, and she will be going to the University of Miami. And I love the fact that she's actually going to go on to get her EDD, which is the equivalent of a PhD in education. And I would like to think that her experience here at Memorial and being our director of UME had something to do with that. So Cindy, please come and accept a little warm-hearted thank you. Do you want to say just a couple of words or no? Sorry to put you on the spot.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Chaudhry. Thank you, the leadership, the executive staff, everyone at Memorial, my colleagues, physicians, program directors, clerkship directors. As Dr. Chaudhry mentioned, my journey here has been so rewarding, and really mentorship that I've received has really what pushed me to really want to pursue and advance my educational journey. So I really just want to say thank you so much for all the opportunities, the experiences that I have received here. Thank you.
Okay, everyone, thank you for your participation. This concludes our white coat ceremony. I wish you all Godspeed and good luck. Thank you for your attendance. Oh, Office of Academic Affairs photo? Yes? Oh, my.